Hi everyone, welcome back. So, in this installment of the show, we're going to be talking about all the measures in which many schools, many states are taking right now in order to resume schools in this August. So they're trying to resume school on Tuesday, and everything they've been trying to do, some of these measures actually make sense. Some of them, to be sincere, are ridiculous, and some are just downright funny. So we're going to be getting to all those things in this particular episode, and we're just going to be starting with Anambra State. In Anambra State now, you are not permitted to go into school if you have no face mask on. That actually makes a lot of sense. That's the same rule that they're given, that have been given to churches and some other places like that. No face mask, no entry. Government organizations and stuff like that, no face mask, no entry. So it makes a lot of sense in a way. That's it, although that doesn't really answer the question if students are really going to obey some of those things like that. You understand? You don't expect students to be as responsible as the adults most times. I have a feeling that most of them are not really going to follow some of all those instructions. Then the next one is that in Lagos and in Ondo State as well, fumigation of schools is going on right this moment. They are really fumigating all those schools, which of course begs the question. At the very beginning, you are going to start thinking, well, if it's for insects and rodents, it actually makes a lot of sense, but what they are doing it for is because of COVID-19, and that makes absolutely no sense. It's one of those ones that I said is actually ridiculous. How ridiculous is that? The schools have been empty for months. At this moment, months. What are you fumigating about? All these things, they are just posturing. You're just trying to show, showmanship. That's basically what the governors of those states are doing. Why are you trying to fumigate a school after months? And we all understand that COVID-19 doesn't live for, even at the longest time, even in very perfect conditions in the laboratories, it can only live for about 24 hours or at most 3 days on surfaces. And that's all. We're talking about months here. So generally speaking, there is no iota of COVID-19 that should exist in any of those schools around the country right now. There's no iota of COVID-19 that should exist. That's basically the fact. Nobody has touched those places. Even if someone was infected the last time, nobody has touched those seats, those tables, everywhere in the school for the past few months. So where are you going to get the COVID-19 from? So it's a little bit ridiculous, and they're just doing this thing to posture. Like I said again, it's just all trying to show so that the people of the states are going to believe that you are very serious about the conditions, you're very serious about this entire thing, or it's just completely ignorant. Those are the only two things I can think about for which a governor would do such a thing. And of course, they are not saying that you have to wear mask in classes every single time. That's just, honestly, I really feel bad for all the students going for the WAEC and all of that at this moment. I really feel bad for them. Imagine you're trying to write an examination, and despite all the, the pressure on you and everything like that, and you are sweating, and then you still have to have your nose mask on. It's very ridiculous. I understand that if you're in an examination hall, you are supposed to be spaced out. That's basically what you're supposed to do, especially in the WAEC. So there's already enough social distancing there. Why should they all wear masks? Honestly, I don't understand. It probably makes some sense to some of those people in power. So that's just what they're doing. And of course, for all those people who are not in SS3 at this moment, it looks like the first and second term exams are what they're going to promote them on, because there's no time for them to do any sort of third term anymore. There's no school that's going to be able to do that. For all those ones, SS2, GSS1, GSS2, whatever class you are at this moment, apart from SS3 especially, you are basically screwed. If you have not had enough of your CA that is able to promote you, you are basically screwed. Whatever hopes you have for your third term has been jeopardized by COVID-19. I guess we are going to blame COVID-19. Honestly, things are really getting serious all around the country. And of course, in Ogun State now, they are now mandating that is all boarding school students, all boarders are mandated now to go through COVID-19 test once you resume. It has even been started since the 31st of July. And they are going to continue that even on Monday, that's 3rd of August. So you are going to be going through COVID-19 test, and if you test negative, that's the only moment you are going to be allowed to go back to school. If you are so unlucky and you test positive, always keep in mind that there can always be false positives. That is, you test positive by mistake, because all these things are not completely accurate. All those tests are maybe about only 70% accurate. So there are some times that you are not really positive and you're going to test positive, and there are some times that you're not really negative and you're going to test negative. So that's just basically what it is. So what of a false positive? And what happened is that you test positive even though you are not positive, and then you are not going to be allowed to go back to school. I don't understand what is going to happen. Does it mean that you are basically, screwed? And what if you have a false negative? That is, you actually test negative, according to the test, but it's actually a false negative. You are actually positive, but you test negative. What is going to happen then? Then you take the disease into the school and spread it all around to all those people. So honestly, there are a lot of logistical problems with what they're trying to do in Ogun State. Only God knows how they're going to do it. Honestly, it's a little bit difficult. If I'm going to be sincere with you, those are the things going on right this moment. So they are going to be doing all of those things, and who really knows? And then you have the problem of how many times are they going to be tested? That's another issue. How many times are people going to be tested? Are you just going to test them at the beginning of resuming back to school, to the boarding school? What of the teachers? I went to a boarding school. In boarding schools, the teachers still have access to go out. So what if one of the teachers gets infected and comes back to the school and infects the students? So you are going to be having some of the students now testing positive, even though they tested negative at the beginning, and then the entire thing goes like a wildfire. Honestly, the best way to deal with this kind of a thing is just to prepare that there's going to be an outbreak, because no matter how many measures you put in place, such a thing is going to happen. And if you have ever gone to a boarding school before, you know how things spread in a boarding school. That's basically what it is. But again, the good news is that among young children and young adults, generally speaking, this thing is not that serious. So they are just going to catch a sniffles and all of that, and they are going to be all right for the most part. The only people I'm worried about are the teachers, the older teachers, let's say maybe 50 or something like that. Those are the ones you should be worried about at this moment. And those ones are the ones who really, really need all those measures, all those social distancing measures. The teachers are the ones who really need it. All these students are almost completely impervious to all these things you are scared about. That's basically what it is. All the tests from different countries around the world proves that children are not at an immense risk to COVID-19. That's basically what it is. So the flu is more dangerous. Influenza is more dangerous to children than COVID-19. That's basically what it is. Anyway, I'll be seeing you guys next time. Make sure you subscribe to the channel on YouTube. That's Naija Unsealed. Always check it out. And of course on Instagram and on Facebook, Naija Unsealed everywhere. You follow us on Facebook. And I'll be seeing you guys next time. Bye.